So thank you, Professor. Thank you for asking this interesting question. And I believe in the group of all senior esteemed academicians, I am here from a corporate world just to say how corporate is finding the kids who are coming out of these schools, how they are doing, what are the skills we are looking into them. I've heard Dibendu and Matt. It's very well put in that, and let me start from the point where they left on diversity. Right? We have been talking about diversity forever. Initially, we thought the corporates are becoming more and more global, so we wanted identity diversity, to your point. Then we thought we need different perspectives to come into play, so that's where the cognitive diversity came into play. I think it's going beyond that, and I want to perhaps add another set of diversity into this whole piece. I need people today who actually understand how to work in an environment where man and machine can work together. I get people who understand how to deal with people. I get people who understand how to deal with their subordinates. I don't get people coming out of these schools who actually understand how to live in an environment where the man and machine will coexist. We had a professor from Washington just talking about how AI is going to take a major share of some of the work which we do. It doesn't mean that it's going to make us redundant. It's basically saying I need to understand, learn, and empathize that how the machine and man will work together. That's the other set of diversity, right? The second set of diversity comes from the whole piece of value system. I am not even saying perspective. The value system with which I have grown is very different than the value system with which my kids have grown. Maybe my situations were different, my schools I have gone to were different, the institutes I have attended were different, whatever be the reason. The value system of Gen Z or maybe beyond that is going to be very, very different. I don't get people who actually think beyond basic of value system which coming from B school. I don't know anybody who coming from B school have a very, very strong opinion about environment. I don't have anybody with a very strong opinion about sustainability and willing to go that way. Now, that has to come in, and if it's there, in some cases, it's super, and that's really attract those people to us, right? Big time that, okay, I am thinking about environment, I am thinking about sustainability. The third piece, and I think Dibendu picked it up with that Unilever example, and I think even Matt talked about it, is the resilience. I am living in a world where things are going to change in months, not in years. What I used to do 12 months back and what I'm going to do 12 months down the line is going to be very different from a business perspective. And I don't have people who are coming in with that level of agility, that level of adaptability that they know that things are going to change. I still have people coming from B school and talk about, let's make a 10-year program, let's make a 15-year vision. I don't think most of the organization can even think of 15 years down the line. The life has changed. And for the people who were not ready to accept that life has changed, the last 2 years have definitely proven them wrong big time, that the world has changed. Rather, the way we have done business when the pandemic started, then the way we have done the business after the first wave of pandemic, then the way we have done business after the second wave of pandemic, and perhaps the way we are doing the business today, assuming that third wave may come or may not come, and whichever form it will come, it's very, very different. Now, give me the pass outs of the B school which actually have that level of agility, who has ability to change that much. I don't think anybody can think of a 10-year program today or a 15-year plan today. All of those are junk. I think anybody who makes beyond 5-year plan today, he's a very brave man on this earth, because it's very difficult to figure out what is happening there. I think the three basic things. From the perspective which Professor Banerjee has put up on the input and output, let me just give 2 or 3 perspectives. I think the 3 very important skills which we as a corporate look from the graduates which are coming into the corporate world today, right? The one is, of course, on the digital literacy. The digital literacy does not mean that you need to be a technical guy. It doesn't mean that you have to be the best coder in the world. But you should know how you will apply technology and work with technology. If you don't know that, you're going to lag behind. Whether we like it or not, everything in our world will actually have a digital intervention either happening now as we speak or is going to happen in the few days, if it's not happened already. Right? A disruption has already started and we can't change that. So I think that's one very, very critical skill. We still get people who says, no, this is not my subject. I think that interdisciplinary things about the subjects, this thing. So if you are a good design student, if you are a good humanities student and bring in digital along with it, you are a superpower. It doesn't need to be that you have to be from IIT and then bring digital together. Right? If you are a good social science student and you bring digital along with it, you are a superpower. And that is something which we need to train to the future MBAs per se and tell them that, see, it doesn't mean that you need to change your basic subject. It's basically mean that you have to understand technology, have to understand digital, have to understand how you will apply it in whatever you are doing and make it much more stronger. I think that's one thing which I see. The second one from my side, if I have to put it, is the agility. And I think it goes completely beyond. How you will work in an environment which is changing all the time, right? I give you a very good anecdotal example and perhaps it will help. So we have all grown up with a photography where we used to do still photography. It was easy to give pose and the cameraman will come and take a photograph. Today we are working in an environment where there's streaming photography. So whatever I do will get actually noticed by someone or some camera at any given point in time. Now, how do I manage my pose throughout the time when I'm giving that? Now, that's exactly what I mean by agility. I am working in a corporate world today where the business dynamics is changing almost every second. How will I gauge to know it? How will I know it well? How will I sense this better? Once I have done the sensing, how will I respond to do better? And which basically at a lot of times mean that I have to unlearn, I have to relearn as an individual. My business model needs to change. My business model needs to change quite a lot. I need to take brave step of saying that this investment is junk. I need to put in new investment. I need to do all of that. So I need to be prepared for that. I need to have that level of resilience within myself to take those decisions to do that. I think that's the second change which I am saying from the new breed of B School graduate. The third is the ability to work together, which we talked about, and I am extending it to work together with man and machine together in all sense. Now, why the diverse group is very interesting. Means for last by 5 weeks now, 6 weeks now, most of the B schools have already opened up the lateral hiring and we are doing interview. We can easily see the difference in the batch which is passing out this year than the batches which we have seen earlier. Majority of the people whom we are interviewing has never been to campus. They haven't done internship in any of the corporate. They have all done the online learning. I will not even call it hybrid learning. And you can see that some of the skills which are the softer skills and the nuances has not developed very well in them. And you can make out, irrespective of the B school. I'm saying it started sometime in November and we've been to this thing. I personally been interviewed to about 6 or 5 different B schools. You can see that. And I think somebody mentioned, or I think Matt mentioned, is the ability to learn from the peer group. That learning from the peer group is not happening because the peer group has never got formed. They are all sitting in their home in front of their laptop and doing it. And that has to change. And the reason why I'm saying that that is very important working together, because the future of education is going to be like that. I will actually go back to what our professor from Washington is saying. The instruction which is there in the books will get into video form and would be available to most of the students by themselves. The role of the B school and the role of the faculty will predominantly be to teach how to apply what is written in the books. So there will be more projects, there will be more case examples, there will be more assignments, there will be more live examples, there will be more simulations, and that's perhaps will differentiate these schools, not the content. And for that, a lot of things have to change, including some of the upgrade which is required, or some of the learning which is required from the B school perspective. They need to build a digital infrastructure. They need to train some of the faculty member to actually be aware of what is happening in the digital world, because the things have changed. They need to get more of the practicing manager to the campuses, which actually have started quite a lot, but has to often have more, because the practicing world is changing very, very rapidly, and they need to understand that. So that's my view from an output perspective. One single point from an input perspective, which I also wanted to put in here, is when I joined B School about 22 years back, I perhaps had the same dream which somebody mentioned. I should get a good corporate job. That was my job, that whether I get it or not. And that's the clear job which all of the B School has kept as their KPI and worked their stuff backwards. That how will I produce students who will get better jobs, or who will pick up by the better corporate? Whereas my corporate thought process has changed. At least half of the students who come to B School today either want to become entrepreneur or want to do things which are different than a corporate job. They still don't know what that different mean, but if you actually do a very good discussion with them, you will realize that they are not very clearly looking forward for a job where they joined Unilever after a B School and retired as a chairman of Unilever. Not all of them. I'm still 50–60% of them are like that, but 40% have changed. Now, have my schools changed their curriculum, their instructions based on the changing need of my customers? And my customers and my stakeholders are the students who are coming in. And it's going to be quite important, because I personally see there will be a large sense of large number of smaller organizations or entrepreneurial activity which will happen. Maybe smaller number of large corporates will do that. We see that even in our business, in consulting, it's becoming more an entrepreneurial game more and more. We see that across the board. And I think that's the wider perspective I just want to put to the whole academic community sitting here, that we need to just relook at where we are. We need to relook at what the future will need. And I don't think any one of us sitting in the panel or anywhere else can actually predict the future with a full surety. And we need to produce the graduates who are far more resilient, agile, and able to manage that change very easily. With that, I just, Professor, thank you.